Hello. Sorry, that was so weak. Hi, everybody. Oh my god! What the fuck? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Just like Jesus, on the third week, I have risen.
Yeah.
Put asterisk, 3 days, because I think he only took 3 days. That's actually so crazy that it takes me 3 weeks to recover, and it only took Jesus 3 days.
To recover from death.
From death, and also getting tortured by a bunch of people.
Slay.
Anyways, we're back! And I guess we have to do a lot of housekeeping.
Fuck. Yeah, well, first of all, you probably noticed that,
We've been separated.
yeah, we are in separate cities. Like, I'm in Calgary now.
It feels like
As I
separate.
told you before, I was threatening everyone
Yeah.
with the impending Calgary shipment, shipping off of me. First and foremost, I don't even live in the more urban area. I live in suburbs.
The burbs.
The burbs.
She lives in the burbs, guys.
And it is horrific, okay? Because, first and foremost, not a decent cup of coffee for miles, for kilometers, if I may.
It's actually so fucked up, because why do I keep thinking that, like, I'm imagining that you live in a place that looks like Downtown Abbey and you have to take, like, a horse carriage.
It feels like it, bitch. Like, it feels like procuring an Uber. Feels like finding a carriage. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's so ridiculous. Oh, my little baby is at the door trying to open it. Because the thing is, my mom has a cat. And the cat is not fucking with my dog, okay? Like, she just doesn't want to do... Like, she just wants to do nothing, okay? With my dog. And she is growling at her. She is trying to get her all the time. And my dog is very calm. But... I mean, like, she's calm with her, I guess. She's being really nice about it, but honestly, the cat is acting insane, okay? Like, that's her problem. I have gel X nails, and there's none, like, no one heard of this in this neck of the woods, okay? They're all, like, in acrylic, and I'm like, acrylic?
They don't have gel X? Girl, mama, put that sound effect on. That's actually outrageous.
I mean...
Us acting like bougie bitches. We both live in the fucking burbs.
Listen, like, I literally, when I came, my brother was, like, telling my mom, he's like, why did you bring this socialite Linus in here? Like, I'm like, first of all, that's ridiculous. Okay? Second of all, okay, yeah, I'm complaining. The water, bitch, the water is fucked up here. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I mean, like, I remember the water here is, I don't know, it has a lot of metals in it or something, or minerals or whatever the fuck, to the point where there's, like, calcium in everything that holds water. If you just spill water on the countertop, there's gonna be calcium left on it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And, like, we have filters, but those filters, I think that they're old. I was like, Mom, why are you guys drinking calcium straight up? Like, I don't know. And the thing is, like, they're not wrong. I am complaining about literally everything. And also, like, I'm trying not to, but when there's nothing but fucking Dollaramas everywhere, it makes you want to fucking just, like, jump off a cliff. Okay?
I think I would love that. The Dollarama part. Okay! Sorry, I fucking... Bitch, I save. Dollarama's lit. You can get everything at Dollarama.
Oh, it's weird that there's no, like, smaller shops. There's no smaller businesses around me, at least, because, like, I'm so far away from the center that it's literally just big businesses that have their franchises.
Yeah, just franchises, right? Wait, so how far are you away from, like, downtown Calgary, let's say?
Let's see how long it would take to get to my old high school. Western Canada High School. 1 star on Yelp. Who fucking
Who even had the time to rate that?
Yeah, on Yelp of all places. Like I understand on Google, like Google reviews or something, but Yelp, okay, I guess.
My education was subpar. Yeah, buddy, of course it's gonna
Okay,
be.
so it's like 40 minutes by car,
Oh, okay.
I think. And if you take transit, it's an hour and 30 minutes.
That's so cooked.
I love
The
it.
for 40 minutes is like Deep Langley from Vancouver.
Exactly, fucking like I'm okay. So for those of you who are Vancouverites, it's like living in Langley. God,
Yeah.
just shoot me. God damn. And also, okay, so this is not even this is more of a jokey joke situation here. Like I'm joking right now. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. To compare to what happened with my puppy, I'm going to just state what happened, but I don't know how bad the situation is until the surgery is done. So I'm not going to be sad about it yet, okay? I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so we went to the doctors, to the vet, okay? She's got a tumor and they're gonna take it out. It is cancerous, but we don't know whether it's like a type that you could just kind of remove and you just move along and like it doesn't matter, or it's like, you know, bad. So I don't know. She's only 9, but I also was only 24, so I I don't even know. We're not gonna talk about this for too long because I'm gonna get upset. But
Mhm.
the in general, what is life and why are we living it?
Is a question we always pose every.
No, straight up. Like I'm trying to be positive every time, and every time it's just
Dude, it's actually that's not even an exaggeration. Seriously.
like every time, every single time I come on and I'm like, I'm gonna be positive today, and then my life just gets so bad, and I just kind of have to be like, okay, guys, do you want to hear my chemo stories?
Do you wanna hear how I have the bird flu?
Like, what the hell? Anyway. So, my assistant, anything else to add?
Yeah, update. Sorry guys. I've been gone for a hot minute because I caught the bird flu. Just kidding, I caught pneumonia. But then Lisa was scaring me about this bird flu. And you guys, my arch nemesis is birds. And I've been saying since I was young that we should just kill off birds, you know? Wait, don't add this. There might be like people who have like birds as pets, which honestly I don't understand that. Weird. No, but anyways, I've been gone because I have pneumonia, I assume. I'm reporting from my bed. I feel a little pukey, so sorry about that. I'm gonna visit Lisa soon, so whatever
You know
you'll see,
what?
you'll
Yeah,
see Lisa
actually,
soon.
we're gonna be able to film in the same room.
Yeah, and you can see my little Tweety head. Oh yeah, I also want to apologize for waging a war from the last video. Sorry about the mistake about the Tracy Emmons things. Like, y'all,
Oh,
yeah, damn, man. So sorry about that. I was just going off the dome. My bad. It wasn't the topic, so we didn't really look into it. I just like remembered it briefly.
so what should we do now, by the way, to all of you bitches? To
Yeah,
all of you bitches
please,
who like
please,
carceral little hoes. What do you want? What do you want? Should we imprison her?
please
Should
don't arrest me.
should
Please.
we, I don't know,
I'm
guillotine
already a I'm already a prisoner in my own pneumonia body.
all
Please.
of you people who are complaining about shit like this, like you let Elon Musk's of the world like live and run around, but as soon as we say the wrong, like just slightly wrong information, because technically speaking, she was making a lot of artworks about heartbreak and whatever. Like it wasn't that far fetched to assume.
Mhm.
Sorry to say.
Yeah. So my bad to all the people who got fucking riled up with that. Like, wasn't trying to rile you up. Just like, sorry I didn't square up in the comments. Again, pneumonia.
So yeah, so we're gonna talk about art, and actually on this sound
We're gonna
board.
talk about art as if this isn't like a arts and culture. You know what? It is funny we have to explain that because like sometimes we don't be talking about it. We're just like ranting the whole episode.
It's just hard not to rant about things that are kind
Yeah.
of art should be a reflection of society, bitch, and society sucks.
Sucks. Sucks balls. Big
Like, it's
fat
not even funny
balls.
anymore, you guys. Like, it's kind of fucked up or whatever. I don't even know what to do with myself anymore. I've
Dude.
been thinking about life, and I'm like, what am I living for? Anyway.
I feel like I've been sick for like 28 years.
Um, Same actually.
Yeah.
I'm not even 28, but I've been sick for 28 years.
28 years.
So yeah, Martha Rosler.
So Martha Rosler. What about Martha Rosler though?
Listen, we've talked about, I think it was what, a couple of episodes ago, where we talked about different waves of feminism. When it comes to art, that this is what we're going to discuss today, like how you can differentiate different waves of feminism, or like when we talk about the fact that the movie is not up to par for the time that it's been made in terms of commentary on feminist issues or whatever the fuck. That's what usually we're referring to, what we're going to be explaining today. But overall, I also want to mention that the waves of feminism shit is very much America centrist and Western centric, because technically speaking, while the wave of feminism that was like allowing for women to have, for example, banking accounts without being attached to a man or whatever the fuck, in the West, in America, it happened in 1974. For my grandma, that happened in 1917. So it's very different
Yeah.
things. Same with cultures that used to be matriarchal and then were colonized and became patriarchal and whatever. So you can't really be like, oh, it's applicable to every place in the world. This is more or
Or
less about
everyone.
Americans catching up
Yeah.
to, women
Or
being
every
human
type of
beings.
person too. I
Yeah,
mean, it definitely benefited hetero white women the most. So
yeah. But also, it was kind of like mostly the Western countries were the ones
yeah,
who were behind on this too, in a lot
yeah,
of ways.
totally.
There's like a lot of native people who didn't live like this at all, didn't live in a binary at all. So it's
Hmm.
like a completely, different thing. However, when it comes to these artworks, when we say that something is like, for example, second wave, or at least concerns itself with second wave feminist issues, specifically for visual arts, I would say that fourth wave is the one that concerns itself with intersectionality the
Hmm.
most, in terms of how intersections of different types of oppressions create unique circumstances that kind of make this broad strokes kind of feminism not applicable to people, in terms of like not even applicable but not useful for them as it should be. When we're talking about those artworks, with Martha Rosler, technically speaking, I would say that one of her most famous artworks is Semiotics of the Kitchen.
I like how you completely skipped over third wave, the explanation of third wave, because fuck that shit. Just kidding. Specific markers that are like strong themes in the certain different waves.
The first wave is property rights, or like right to vote. Second wave, hand in hand with civil rights, but I think that there was a lot of disjointed approach in terms of not understanding that all oppressions are interconnected. Then the third wave is very much like it's very pop culture-y. I think that the sexual revolution of the 70s kind of applies more to the second wave, and then the third wave is more 90s until 2015 or something like
Mm.
that. It's kind of second wave in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're definitely fluid, like with each
Yeah,
other. There's a lot of things that that follow through into the next wave.
yeah.
But yeah.
After just having like some basic rights, you kind of moving on to trying to get more of them or whatever the hell. But
Hmm.
it's very strange because oftentimes we kind of roll back on a lot of things, and there's a lot of issues with all of that. But fourth wave is basically mostly intersectionality type of deal. In any case, I think that oftentimes when I use it like loosely when I'm talking about art, and I'm like, oh, this is very like third wave or very second wave, what I mean by that is that it's kind of talking about things that were discussed in art or were kind of interesting, at least in art, back in the day, in those periods of time. Like, for
Yeah.
example, when I say, oh, it's kind of very second wave or third wave, I usually mean 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Degrees.
Yeah. The reason why I want to talk about Martha Rosler is because I feel like she's a perfect example of talking about different feminist movements in the art world and them being reflected in artworks, while also showing that it doesn't always mean that when I'm saying it's the second wave feminist art, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's just if you're currently making it,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like, babe, what year are you from? But when you were making it back in the day, if you were making it during civil rights movement or something like that, it's like, yeah, well, no
Mm-hmm.
shit. Like, of course, you're going to be making art that's contemporary to your, like, to the issues that you guys are discussing and where you are at. And also, I think that we need to kind of describe semiotics of the kitchen really quickly. Semiotics of the kitchen is kind of one of those artworks that you're probably going to be introduced to in like Visa, like Visual Arts 100. It's like pretty standard for
Mm-hmm.
contemporary art, specifically contemporary art, not like, obviously it's not going to be as important if you're going to be talking about the entirety of art history. No one's going to be starting with fucking semiotics of the kitchen, but it is it is the standard for talking about contemporary art, which is mostly art created after 1917 or 1913. When was Duchamp's?
1913, I thought.
13. Okay, so after 1913.
Don't quote me. Do not quote me. I'm not trying to start a war.
Duchamp, Ready Made. Where was the fucking first?
Watch it be 1917, just because I said it.
It is 1917.
Fuck! Poop sound.
Anyway,
Oh.
well, that's me literally like every single day. I'm like, it's so D&G 2009 or like 2007. I meant 2003, but
Dude, I said I was 25 at the hospital not too long ago, so don't even. You know what, guys? Just fucking ignore me.
no, don't.
I'm
I'm
just a
gonna, I'm
thought.
gonna, I'm gonna fight anyone who's gonna be pissed about stupid shit like that. Like, bitch, you need to calm down. You need to relax. You need to relax. How are you gonna be talking to people and making them like, or trying to get them to be more tolerant of others or whatever the fuck if you can't tolerate a little mistake?
Mm. Mm.
Anyway, so
Oh.
um,
I should have known that though. My degree failed me.
dude, who cares? Honestly, I hated those teachers who were like asking for specific dates. I'm like, those ones that were, oh, you can be 3 years early or late on the date. Like it's kind of like a window of 6 years. I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're a real one. Because why the fuck would I know that? Why would I need to know that? That doesn't make any
Yeah.
fucking sense. Unless it's like your super specialty.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not what you're doing in your undergrad. You're kind of getting like general knowledge on this thing that you're learning about, not like being like, actually, I'm a specialist in Picasso's works from 1913 to 19, I don't know, 18? Whatever.
Shh. Me just reliving the trauma.
So Semiotics of the Kitchen is just a video, okay? It's a performance piece, performance art. It is from 1975, very much Fluxus time, when a lot of performance art was performed, and a lot of
Mm.
feminist art was performance art. This performance piece, it's 6 minutes, and it is basically just her going through the alphabet and naming things in the kitchen, kind of like being like A for, I don't know, what's
Us
bitch.
not knowing anything in the kitchen.
This is what Martha Rosler was fighting for, bitch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And
I think that like she did the thing that she wanted to do. Like,
okay, but seriously
I'm
though,
not.
name me something in the kitchen that starts with the A, bitch. Because I can't think of any.
Apple,
I knew you were gonna say that.
appliance. A for appliance. Um, B for bread. I don't know, bitch. Like basically things like that, okay? Anyway, so she goes through the whole alphabet. Some of the utensils that she's using or that she's showing are kind of a little weird or a little bit, like, not really used that often anymore. And some of them are like, oh, K for knife or whatever. So it's kind of like weirdly violent from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, she begins with an apron, bitch. I forgot. A for apron.
Oh, I forgot.
You can get what it was supposed to be about just by hearing, semiotics, the word semiotics,
Mm-hmm.
which is a kind of a study of linguistics or of meaning, like
Hmm.
signs and indexes and whatever the fuck. This work,
I feel like there's a lot of things to it that if you're a woman of that time, only you know about it, and it's like it's your own person. You have your own personal index about it, but people don't realize like how much goes into it. And
because it's filmed in a way that's reminiscent of those cooking shows.
hmm.
Also, like the whole thing of like, oh, place for a woman is in the kitchen, yada yada. This kind
Yeah.
of bullshit, and it's all mixed in with her doing really weird shit with those objects, those utensils. Like she was kind of sometimes aggressive or doing some movements that are kind of strange with that tool,
Hmm.
which makes you a little bit
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable because you're like, what the fuck is going on, kind of
Yeah, it's
thing.
like creepy a little bit.
Yeah. And obviously, this, to me, this seems to be quite a simple artwork in a sense of if you were to make it today, right? It would have been not, it wouldn't be noteworthy at all. But back then, it was kind of, first of all, it was a new way of making artwork still, like video. Um,
Hmm.
the performance art aspect was also new. And even when we did see them, it takes at least 10 years after their artwork is made for people and curators to actually fucking catch up to what happened in the past 10 years and be like, oh, holy shit, that was like a thing that we can talk about and make it into a curated exhibition or whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
And for her specifically, this artwork, like, it reminds me of those other performance artworks that were, for example, about cleaning. Like there was this woman who was just cleaning a square somewhere,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
public space, and it
Yeah,
was
I
a
remember that.
kind of a commentary on this labor of sustaining things and maintaining things that is
Hmm.
always unnoticed and
Yeah.
always kind of not seen at all because it's not considered monumental enough to capture or to even notice it that much. Because I think that the whole point of doing that work, of maintaining something, is to keep it looking the same, which is so different from actually, for example, making the monument or making the building or, you know, like building
Hmm.
it and stuff like that. So it's kind of this silent labor that gets overlooked all the time. I think that that's a better artwork in that kind of sense because I think that it
Yeah.
is a lot more fitting for this topic. But I still think that like this artwork was good for the time that it was made in, right? And then there's also another series of montage photos
Yeah,
that
montage of
Martha
photos.
created, which was the series called House Beautiful, Bringing the War Home. She actually made them before she made the video work from 1967 until 1972. And I personally think it's probably her best work in my opinion.
Hmm.
It's again, this is biased as hell because whenever you say that someone's work is like this is their best work or whatever, there's still going to be a lot of bias because like just some of it speaks more to you than other stuff.
Yeah.
It was inspired or conceived during the Vietnam War.
Hmm.
And Rosler herself is American, and she was kind of montaging those Americana idealized living rooms, like
Hmm.
photos from catalogs and whatever, you know, when you were choosing what kind of new
Yeah.
bedroom or new living room you wanted in your new beautiful house. She was kind of montaging in images from the war. For example, a woman amputee who's just like standing in the living room that
Hmm.
is, you know, usually an idealized version of a living room that you wanted to like purchase and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's bringing in this destruction that you brought over there that you don't see or
Hmm.
don't actually think exists in the same sphere as you do. Because the thing is, like, you can even see things on TV and still feel like, oh, well, this is just the Middle East. Well, this is just
Hmm.
like South Asia, whatever the fuck. Like, a lot of people, especially this was very apparent when we heard a lot of reporters when they were reporting on the Ukraine war, and they were saying like literally explicitly on TV in Europe, they were saying it's so disturbing to see like blonde, blue-eyed children in this situation, and it's like, oh,
Huh? Wait,
they're
what?
like it's not somewhere in Middle East, it's here in Europe, and it's like oh, so it's okay if it's in the Middle East with you.
Yeah.
Like it's okay with you. Like it's kind of like, oh, it's bad, but it's not in the same dimension as me. It doesn't like it's do you
Yeah.
understand that it's like literally not that far away? Like this is we're all on the same fucking planet, but how
Hmm.
somehow to them it's like two separate dimensions, two separate worlds
Yeah.
don't interact, or when they do interact, it's like it just produces um, the veterans that you have to worship, kind of thing.
Hmm.
It speaks to more than just white women's feminism. Martha herself, there's a higher chance that it's going to be an American woman or an American interacting with her artwork in America, obviously, than
Hmm.
someone who's like from Vietnam, right? That's why I think that it shows pretty well the ideas of second wave feminism in her semiotics of the kitchen artwork versus this work, which was actually made earlier than the semiotics in the kitchen. But
Hmm.
I think that it doesn't mean that the semiotics of the kitchen work is bad. It just not as complex.
Yeah, it's just not as effective, or I don't think it doesn't mirror the nuance of like what was happening in the time, like during the time, as well as the other one.
I think that honestly, like that was one of the artworks that stuck with me for a long time because I thought it was very effective and it did bring up a lot of questions that I think not a lot of people are kind of paying attention to, just based on like the military worship and other
Yeah,
things like that in the world.
a lot of the PTSD that was happening with soldiers who returned home, and like people were like acknowledging it but not really healthcare or whatever at the time to even acknowledge like this shit was happening. It's kind of like an invisible disease, like they didn't want to, they knew it was happening with people, but they didn't want to acknowledge it as being because of the war. And like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they realized that this could be milked, though, like when they
Hmm.
realized that they could make movies
Yeah, I
glorifying,
mean, like now for
or
sure.
like we can even
Yeah.
talk about like A24 making a movie that's literally just like military propaganda out of fucking
Yeah.
nowhere. And like,
Yeah.
I'm for those of you who are gonna be like, oh my God, Lisa, why would you like say this about the military, whatever? For I don't care which country's military it is. I
Yeah,
am
like,
like all of them are serving the oligarchs, not us. And at least nowadays. And I think
mhm.
that and honestly like that was always mostly the case. And I think specifically when you're also when you're not fighting back, right? When you're going somewhere. And I think
Mhm.
it's like this weird thing where it's honestly it's a complex issue because first of all it's usually people who are in the lower classes who go to the military. This is the reason why poverty is not only accepted as a natural thing in capitalist societies but as a desirable thing because
Yeah.
you want your military to be full of people. And how do you get that? You get that by promising them education, shelter, food, good medical care, which are all of the things that should be your human right to begin with. But
Yeah. A
they
lot of
kind
people do it
of
too to like get citizenship and.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I think that this specific thing of bringing it into the homes and into the imagery that's so not only common but so uh, nostalgic even for some people, or maybe
Mhm.
not nostalgic but very normal or popular, I guess. This imagery of catalogs and like IKEA type of furniture, like what you can buy
Yeah.
in one go and like make your living room look that way. Like bringing in these images into it is quite interesting, specifically because I feel like when you're taking pictures of someone in Vietnam and you're just like showing it to people, sometimes they're horrified by it, but they
Mhm.
kind of have this distance from it. And there's also a little bit of a weird Orientalism thing going on where it's like, oh, look at this, like, and they live so much simpler than us. We need to learn from them. Or like people start,
Yeah.
saying stupid shit like, oh, you should go to India to reconnect with your fucking soul or whatever the hell. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, can you stop being stupid? It's annoying. But
It's that's so fucking funny.
it's just like one of those things where you kind of go, this is actually less like it's not exploitative because it's more of like, so do you get it now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if this would have been outside of your window, if this would have been your neighbor in your house with an
Yeah.
amputated leg because of the war going on, would that actually trigger you to actually understand what is going on?
Yeah.
Would it
Like,
would it finally click, kind of thing?
mm-hmm. For the most part, this is still going on now. Like, people don't, I mean, there definitely are a lot of more people who are like taking it seriously, but there are a lot of people who are also just can compartmentalize and be like, this is so beyond me. You know,
Mhm.
they can live, laugh, love, and not think about all of those things, and
Yeah,
that shocks me,
I
to
know.
be honest.
I mean, honestly, a lot of these things, I just kind of I understand why so many people, even when they kind of are confronted with it, why they roll back into this oblivion, of like not
Mm-hmm.
understanding this in quotations, because it is extremely depressing to the point where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like seeing how all of the oppressions are connected in the world takes this toll on you as a human being, just because
Yeah.
you're like, you see it in everything. You go to the store and you see all the products that are owned by those motherfuckers who honestly should be all offed. And then you
Mm-hmm.
go to like, you turn on your TV and you see it. You go and you talk to people around you, and these struggles that they're facing, a lot of them could have been fixed by just a society that was built for people instead of building it for corporations and for individuals who want to profit off of it.
Sorry, I'm back. Is my social worker. Anyways, where were we again?
The inescapability of knowing too much.
Oh, yes, yes.
And the thing is, I don't even think that it's like knowing too much as much as it's just like noticing a pattern and
Mm-hmm.
looking at things from a perspective that's not just like isolated to you or even your country. As soon as you realize the patterns that are beyond these imaginary lines on a map, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fucking insufferable.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, I get why people would shy away from like, not shy away, but like, it's so depressing. You know what I mean? To see those things. I mean, even for us, it's like having to see photos, like such graphic photos of like children dead and like all this other stuff is like really, it's so depressing. It's so hard to deal with. And it's like we also don't have the best tools to, do anything significant about it.
Mm.
But what
I
pisses
think,
me off is that rich people do.
dude, that's the thing. And
And
also,
they do nothing.
they do nothing because they
They
created
just
those
go to the
things.
Turks and Caicos, man. They just like
Yeah,
go
dude,
vacation
no,
and
it's
just
even worse.
fucking
It's the thing that they created. That's why they
yeah.
don't do anything about it, because they benefit from it. They created it. This was their thing from the beginning. Like, they wanted it to function this way. It's functioning exactly how they wanted it to, and I think honestly, this is kind of the topic. Maybe it's a topic for another episode where we need to talk about like the toll that having no people, not people that you aspire to, but people that you kind of, or systems that you see that are, yeah, they have flaws, but overall it's like working, for example, like not having those
Yeah.
things can really fucking derail you for some reason. Like, it
I've
makes it
been
really difficult.
yeah, that's so weird that you're saying that because I've been saying that so much lately. I'm like, no idols, no icons, no inspiration because even if you I feel like, and this is so fucking depressing, but I feel like even if you like something or someone or whatever, there's always like something fucked up about them that you find out later. It's
Yeah,
like
even on like a
constantly.
small scale, like when you look at a an actor like them, for example, and then you find out, and I'm not even talking about like this celebrity culture in particular. It's just this is
Yeah.
the most common kind of denominator that we can talk about
Yeah.
with people, where it's not a personal experience as much as it's like literally a public experience of liking someone and then realizing that they've done something. Or the thing is, like, there are some
Hmm.
things that you can obviously forgive or look over. It's kind of like, like a little mistake or something, but it's always something that is
1913 X 1917. Please forgive me.
I don't know, I think it affects me negatively that I don't have, like, even when I look at people and I'm like, oh, like, I like them, whatever, or I think that they are an example of a person I would like to be when I'm their age or something like that, I
Hmm.
still look at it and I'm like, god damn, but they like literally were incarcerated.
Yeah, like I guess
or like
so.
just being a good person. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy. Like kind of like like I know that Nelson Mandela. I think I heard something that he was also doing something fucked. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably something misogynistic. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I heard just even thinking about that, you're like, the dude was incarcerated for longer than I've been alive for just
Hmm.
being like no to apartheid. And you're just like,
Yeah.
fuck, how do you live in a world like this? Like how do you live in a world that is making being a normal person or being a human a sin?
Yeah. Like you're making it so y'all are making it so hard for humanity to exist.
I literally saw a video today on TikTok of like
Hmm.
this clip from a documentary that shows that most women, like 70% of women that are incarcerated for murder, didn't have priors at all, which is not the case for men usually. And
Yeah.
then you look up, like you actually watch the rest like of the video, and they're interviewing those women, asking them like, what did they do to end up there, right? And she was like, oh, I just killed my husband who was abusing my children, like he was sexually abusing them, and she killed him, and
Yeah,
she was put
that's
to for life. She got life in prison,
yeah.
and I'm just sitting there like, I'm sorry, like, how are we living in a society where killing a man who's abusing your children is like punishable by life in prison? How is that normal?
Yeah. It's actually an epidemic. For that's I remember learning that in one of my law classes, and I remember we did a mock trial. I think I told you that story.
Hmm.
We did like a mock trial, and it was like based on a real case where this woman killed her husband because her husband was abusing her for years, and she
Hmm.
like shot him dead essentially, and she shot him more than once. We were like acting as a jury and what the punishment I guess would be, and then like whether or not she's guilty or not guilty. And then I remember the majority, because I was part of the jury, but I didn't vote for her to be guilty, by the way, but
Hmm.
majority did. So then they made her guilty. And then during our mock trial, and then our teacher was like, I am so disgusted by all of you. Like, he's like, you are the most selfish group of people I have ever taught. And he walked out of our class.
As he should have, honestly. Like,
Yeah. And it was like I'll never forget that. That actually changed everything. Like for me, being in studying law at the time, and yeah, I don't know. It's crazy because that is actually a stat
dude, it's so
where it's like,
disgusting. Like, we were basically, like, for those of you who are not Canadian, UBC is kind of like our Ivy League, one of them, like one of the three that are considered to be in it.
mhm,
And I also heard from people who are in the Ivy League in America. We like some of my friends who went to law school, and we were just like
mhm.
talking about it being like, holy shit, the worst people in life are sitting in those classes.
Yeah, dude, I remember so many fucked up, so much fucked up shit. I mean, art, not gonna lie, like visual arts and stuff. For me, being in both, it was so equivalent that how many shitty
Dude,
people are like.
shit.
It was on par with each other. It was probably equal.
Honestly, we have so many shitty people, and like, I need to tell you guys sometime about like the type of people who I interact with sometimes on like, what is it called? The
The
boards,
board,
yeah, like
the
the
board.
board of directors and stuff like that for galleries, because the type of people that end up there sometimes are just like, sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm like, why are you in the arts? Go be something useless like broker or like a
A
stock
business
market person,
consultant.
like
Yeah.
scream on the phone somewhere with a bunch of other losers. Like, why are you here? I don't understand. If you want to be a waste of air, go there. Why are you here?
Just for the look. Just for the honestly, just for the look, just for the vibes is what they do
To
it for.
land those guys who like really got nothing going on in their heads and in their hearts,
Mhm.
and who really want a girl who's like artist looking, so they
Yeah,
can
emphasis on
feel,
looking.
yeah, emphasis on
Like
looking, so they can feel
that's even
interesting.
disgusting and cringe coming out of my mouth saying that.
I know. Are you
It's,
an artist? Oh my god. And like immediately. And also it's so weird because like they're always like assume that because you're an artist, you want to go to their house and like immediately like go back with them somewhere, whatever. Like, so like they just assume that, oh, a
Airy.
stranger, I would love to go to your house.
Yeah, just like no inhibitions.
Yeah, and it's like,
Hey buddy, you're watching too much fucking TV.
yeah, you're watching too many fucking movies with, you know, manic pixie dream girls and whatever. Like you're, I don't know, most of us are afraid of getting murdered, and you look like you could be a murderer because you look like a man. I don't know what to tell
You don't even look like it, you just are.
you.
So
Dude.
stupid.
Anyway,
What?
I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to.
I'm trying to be what? Positive?
Yes, but also I
You
was
say
just
that
gonna
every
end it by
time.
being like, I'm trying to be.
I'm just trying to be.
I'm just trying to
Period.
be. Yeah, I'm just trying to be. I'm just trying to stay be.
I'm just trying to stay being.
Yeah, like that's my goal
I'm
for
just trying to
2025.
not kill myself right now.
Cause like it's getting rough out there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been rough for years for me
Yeah.
since
Hey, you know what? At least
going
you
on
don't have
fifth
to.
year of really rough time. Actually, maybe even. Oh no, it was a 10. I don't want to think about it. No, I don't want to count.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. That will be really depressing. Girl, it's the fucking new year. Dot dot dot. I don't know I don't know where I was going with that.
I feel like we should do some weird vlogs.
Oh, I'll do one when I go there with, and you're gonna hate it. Going to all $300 ramas. The burbs of Calgary.
And just me crying. Like my brother finds it so entertaining because he like doesn't give a fuck. Like he's like, yeah, that's fine. But I'm looking around. I'm like, this is a snowy desert, and I'm from
Is it
Siberia.
snowing there?
Yeah, it's like snow everywhere, and it's like, listen, I fuck with snow. I'm literally from Siberia. Don't get me wrong. But this is a fucking desert.
Yeah.
It's a snowy desert. This is what we're dealing with here. Like
There's like nothing for miles.
nothing. Like seriously, the like nail salons still doing acrylics. Like I mean, I know that Canada is always behind, like 5 years behind on all the beauty procedures or whatever the fuck. Like I get it, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. But
So
acrylic,
what acrylic?
that's like 50
Where'd you
years.
get Gel X then? From back home?
Yeah,
Oh, girl.
yeah. I'm a dizzy, as one says.
Yeah.
Um, because like I got these babies, and I would have to not get a fill, but get like a new set of something stupid. I don't want to. Like I think am I gonna have to go on the other side of the fucking city like 2 hours to get it done, and I don't know if I want to do that actually. 2 hours there, 2 hours there. There's, you know, two
Should I
hours
bring my
together.
shit? Should I bring my shit and do it for you? I know how to do it.
Do you have gel X stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, fuck acrylic. What we have to say at the end of the day is fuck acrylic
Yeah. Fuck
and Gel X is
Starbucks.
that.
The only fucking coffee shop around.
Starbucks?
Yeah, like I mean, like we also have Tim's, but like not for. Yeah, I don't go to Tim's for coffee. Okay, like I go there maybe for a snacky snack, you know, for like
Yeah,
some
like a
strudels
donut.
action, maybe some donut holes. I mean Timbits.
Yeah, like donut holes. It's disgusting. I'm up and I'm stuck.
Like yeah, maybe like Timbits, mayhaps a little nice little bagel.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
everything bagel. Okay.
Slay. We kind of like fucking killed it. Whatever.
Sorry, we promise to be more positive. Holy shit, this is a long ass.
It's still going. They're still cheering. That's how much we fucking slay.
Just us doing this. You guys, we need applause. We need applause or else we'll do it. Just like threatening. I will KMS if you don't like and subscribe. Stupid. Okay,
So sorry about
anyways.
that, but we are on edge. Like, you think, this is not us being like edgy humor. Ugh.
No, I'm
Like, we
like
are on
that's
edge. The edgy humor is because we're on edge, not because we're being
constantly.
edgy. Anyway,
Anyways, thanks for listening. I'm gonna go throw up. Bye bye.
bye.